Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Watch my video and subscribe my channel. Kelly's wedding excitement. Taylor discusses their honeymoon. The bold and the beautiful recap for Wednesday, August 13th, shows that Kelly Spencer's wedding excitement influenced Ridge Forrester, as did Taylor Hayes' conversation about their planned honeymoon. Wednesday's B&B episode began with Ridge, Brooke Logan, and Eric Forrester visiting Forrester Creations and speaking with Katie Logan and Donna Logan Forrester. Brooke thanked Ridge for saving her life, and Donna and Katie reciprocated. Eric recognized that it was frightening to behold, but he was also happy Ridge had come to Brooke's rescue. When Ridge mentioned having somewhere to be, Brooke figured he had to go visit Taylor. Brooke was devastated after Ridge left, but Eric argued Ridge simply needed more time to return to her. When Ridge arrived at the Forrester mansion, Kelly drew a bridal outfit and showed it to him. Kelly was pleased about her grandparents' forthcoming wedding and the opportunity to be the flower girl. Although Kelly recommended Italy as a honeymoon destination, Taylor was considering St. Thomas and discussed the significance of the site to Kelly. Ridge became uneasy as Taylor detailed the wedding planning she had been doing. Ridge ended up speaking with Taylor alone, although he appeared quieter and more pensive than usual. Taylor persuaded Ridge to open up about Brooke's boat accident, and he realized how deeply the incident had affected him. Ridge appeared to be about to tell Taylor something, but Kelly interrupted with more marriage ceremony chatter. Kelly's wedding-related excitement definitely put Ridge under pressure to fulfill his promise. On Wednesday's B&B episode, Electra Forrester spoke openly with Will Spencer in the design office. That provided an explanation for why Electra desired a slow-paced relationship with Will. Electra was still thinking about what Remy Price had put her through with the deep fakes and how difficult it had been. Will was ready to wait for Electra and understood why she had concerns about the bedroom. Over with Nick Marone, he arrived at the office to apologize to Brooke for the boat disaster. Nick also said he had something special planned for that day and was disappointed they didn't get to finish their boat journey. As Nick revealed that he intended to propose in Italy, he showed Brooke the ring, leaving her stunned. Nick expressed his love for Brooke and she reciprocated. According to the bold and the beautiful spoilers, Nick will not get the happily ever after he hopes for with Brooke, so we'll keep you updated on any other love developments. Electra's intimacy, Taylor suspicious, and Ridge covers. The bold and the beautiful spoilers are in for Thursday, August 14th, 2025. In tomorrow's episode, Electra Forrester will be prepared to take the next step with Will Spencer. Taylor Hayes becomes skeptical of Ridge Forrester and Brooke Logan's participation in Italy. Continue reading, and let's discuss what's coming up on the CBS soap opera. Taylor Hayes is suspicious. Let's start with Taylor, who chose to start wedding planning while Ridge was in Italy. Of course, Ridge told her that she could select a date and do whatever she wanted. That's a terrible sign because he doesn't care about the wedding and doesn't want to have any say. In any event, Ridge appeared to be about to tell Taylor the truth about Italy on Wednesday's episode. However, Kelly Spencer strolled in and began gushing about the approaching wedding. Read this. Discover what happened in the latest episode of B&B. Ridge Forrester covers. Ridge is expected to begin telling Taylor the truth in Thursday's episode when Kelly leaves the room. However, Taylor appears to have done a lot of thinking while Ridge was in Italy with Brooke. In a weekly preview clip, Taylor informs him that Brooke's future is not with Ridge. Taylor then adds that she will not be taking off her engagement ring. Electra Forrester's intimate decision. The bold and the beautiful teasers for tomorrow's episode state that Electra has just told Will about Remy Price. Then she discussed how she felt raped on social media, despite the fact that her face, rather than her body, was being controlled. After Will agrees to wait for her, Electra does a complete 180. She suddenly decides that she is ready to move on with Will. Read this. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Liam's second chance at life. Does he want Steffi or hope? Thursday, August 14th, 2025. However, Electra also stated that she would never forget Luna Nozawa's deeds. Luna has awoken, and while Lee Finnegan is not concerned about her escape, she should be. Luna overheard Lee talking to Sheila Carter-Sharp about weaning her off morphine. Then Luna started fantasizing about Will all over again. Could Luna slip out undetected and cause some damage? How will it affect Will and Elektra's first night together? Could Luna gaslight Elektra, especially since everyone believes she has died? Sheila made a promise to Luna as she lay in her makeshift hospital bed, still connected to machinery via tubes and in 4. This was no ordinary promise. It was given by a grandmother who regrets she had done more for her. Sheila told Luna that she and Lee would never abandon her and would fulfill all of her desires. Luna had a vision in which she realized that when she kissed Will that day, he was wearing a wire to catch Luna and have her arrested and returned to jail. She muttered, "Will," as Sheila made the vow to her. The Bold and the Beautiful. Brooke and Nick discuss image. CBS. In Friday's episode, Katie asks Deacon if they may hold a modest celebration for Will at Il Giardino, which Sheila overhears. Is this her chance to make good on her promise? Deacon has advised Sheila not to concentrate over things or people, as doing so often ends badly for almost everyone. Sheila has a history of manipulating others, playing dangerous games, and having ulterior objectives. Katie had no idea that this charming concept of hers will have serious ramifications. Except for Lee and Sheila, no one is aware that Luna is still alive. Finn has had more than enough on his plate with Liam's miracle cure, which swiftly turned into a nightmarish scenario of blackmail, extortion, and falsehoods. Liam never had brain cancer and was given a bogus death sentence so that Dr. Grace Buckingham could use the funds transferred for the bogus surgery to pay off her husband's debts. When Finn finds that Lunds not only survived, but was spirited out by Lee during the night, he will flip his wig and speed dial Steffi, who will be in no hurry to return to LA and put herself or the children in harm's way again. Stay tuned, soap fans, as The Bold and the Beautiful delivers another Friday like no other. Wednesday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful opened with the palpable tension at Forrester Creations as Ridge Forrester, Brooke Logan, and Eric Forrester convened in the design office alongside Katie Logan and Donna Logan Forrester. The atmosphere thick with a mixture of relief and lingering anxiety following Brooke's near-death experience, and Brooke wasted no time expressing her gratitude to Ridge for his quick thinking in saving her life, her voice tinged with both sincerity and the subtle undercurrent of unresolved tension from the trauma they had all just endured. While Donna and Katie nodded in agreement, their expressions reflecting a shared sense of awe and appreciation for Ridge's heroics, and Eric, the patriarch, added his voice to the chorus, acknowledging how frightening the incident had been to witness and how reassured he felt knowing Ridge had come to Brooke's aid, though. Beneath his calm exterior, the older man's eyes betrayed the residual worry that still clung to him like a shadow, as Ridge hinted at needing to be elsewhere. Brooke's mind immediately leapt to the idea that he must be off to see Taylor Hayes, the thought sending a subtle wave of despondence through her as she tried to mask her disappointment, though Eric, ever the steadying presence, suggested that Ridge simply needed more time to process and come back to her on his own terms, offering her a gentle reminder that not all matters of the heart could, or should, be rushed. And with that, Ridge departed, leaving Brooke momentarily adrift in her thoughts, a mixture of longing and anxiety swirling as she considered the tenuous threads connecting her to Ridge and the future he seemed to be withholding. Meanwhile, at the Forrester mansion, Kelly Spencer's excitement for the upcoming wedding bubbled over as she proudly revealed a sketch of her envisioned wedding dress to Ridge, her youthful enthusiasm illuminating the room and momentarily lightening Ridge's otherwise somber demeanor. Though even as Kelly chattered about the joy of being a flower girl and speculated about honeymoon locales, suggesting Italy with wide-eyed wonder, Taylor Hayes quietly interjected with her own preference for St. Thomas, sharing the sentimental significance of the location and gently guiding Kelly toward understanding the deeper meaning behind a honeymoon rather than just its aesthetic allure. While Ridge shifted uncomfortably, the conversation dredging up emotions he had been trying to suppress, caught between his sense of duty, lingering affection for Brooke, and the new life he was supposed to embrace with Taylor, and as Taylor pressed him gently, Ridge found himself reluctantly opening up about the traumatic impact of Brooke's boating accident, a rare glimpse into the emotional turmoil he had been harboring, though before he could divulge the full truth of his trip to Italy and the time he had spent with Brooke, Kelly's persistent excitement about the wedding pulled them back into the present, her innocence and anticipation creating both a distraction and a subtle pressure that weighed heavily on Ridge, highlighting the conflict between his personal feelings and the responsibilities he felt toward his family and future with Taylor. Back at Forrester Creations, another layer of emotional complexity unfolded as Electra Forrester shared a vulnerable moment with Will Spencer, revealing her apprehension about moving forward in their relationship due to the trauma she endured at the hands of Remy Price, whose manipulation with deep fake technology had left her shaken, cautious, and questioning trust and intimacy in ways that extended far beyond the superficial, and Will, demonstrating both patience and understanding, reassured Electra that he was willing to wait, to give her space, and to respect her boundaries. Yet in an almost instantaneous pivot, Electra, emboldened by his unwavering support and her own internal resolve, made a dramatic decision to embrace intimacy, signaling a readiness to take the next step with Will despite the lingering shadows of past violations. A choice that symbolized not only personal growth, but a tentative reclaiming of agency in a world that had so recently tried to take it from her. Simultaneously, the romantic tensions across the city continued to ripple outward as Nick Marone appeared at the design office to apologize to Brooke for the interrupted boating excursion, revealing a special plan he had intended for the day that now could not unfold as imagined, culminating in a heartfelt proposal in Italy, the presentation of a ring, and a declaration of love that left Brooke reeling, her heart caught between gratitude, affection, and the uncertainty of her own emotions, a situation made all the more complicated by the audience's foreknowledge that Nick's hoped for happily ever after might be more precarious than he anticipated, foreshadowing potential heartbreak and romantic upheaval that could ripple through multiple families. All the while, Taylor Hayes' suspicion quietly simmered beneath the surface, fueled by Ridge's evasive behavior and the knowledge that his time in Italy had not been solely devoted to professional matters, and when she later confronted him, her words carried both accusation and protective instinct, warning that Brooke's future was not meant to intertwine with Ridge's, asserting the firmness of her own engagement, and signaling the emotional chess match that would define their interactions as she refused to remove her engagement ring, a symbol of steadfastness and self-assurance that contrasted sharply with Ridge's inner turmoil and growing inclination to finally reveal the truth about Italy once the immediate distraction subsided. Further complicating matters was the looming presence of Luna Nozoa, whose recent awakening and continued confinement under Lee Finnegan's watchful eye created a tension-laden undercurrent that threatened multiple narrative threads, as Luna fantasized about Will, unaware that her every move was being monitored, while Sheila Carter, tethered to life-saving machines, solemnly promised Luna that Lee and she would never abandon her and would strive to fulfill all her dreams, a vow heavy with unintended consequences, given Sheila's own history of manipulation and the fragile nature of such promises when made under duress, and Luna's mind drifted to the past, recalling a kiss with Will that had been part of a sting operation, blurring the line between affection and entrapment, while the specter of potential sabotage lingered, threatening Electra and Will's budding intimacy, especially as no one besides Lee and Sheila knew Luna had survived, a secret that held the power to upend lives once revealed. Meanwhile, Katie Logan's innocuous idea to host a small celebration for Will at Aiel Giardino, overheard by Sheila, became a potential catalyst for chaos, demonstrating how even well-intentioned plans could intersect dangerously with past transgressions, as Sheila, warned by Deacon about her tendency to allow obsession to dictate action, stood poised at the nexus of protection, guilt, and the potential for mischief, aware that her decisions could profoundly affect multiple young lives, especially those of Will and Electra. Across town, Finn found himself caught in the spiraling consequences of prior deceptions, grappling with the fallout from Liam's fabricated brain cancer diagnosis, the morally fraught decision to fake a death sentence, and the financial entanglements of Dr. Grace Buckingham, whose husband's debts had precipitated a web of lies, blackmail, and extortion, leaving Finn's sense of duty, justice, and paternal protection stretched to the breaking point, a tension compounded by the knowledge that Luna's survival had been covertly orchestrated by Lee, a revelation that threatened to upend everything Finn thought he controlled, forcing him into urgent action and rapid communication with Steffi, whose delayed return only heightened the stakes as she navigated her own maternal instincts and family loyalties. In the midst of this web of intersecting relationships, emotional vulnerability, and hidden agendas, the interplay of love, secrecy, duty, and past trauma coalesced into a narrative knot of nearly unbearable tension, with Ridge's internal conflict over Brooke and Taylor, Electra's sudden leap into intimacy with Will despite past violations, Nick's romantic overtures complicated by foreboding spoilers, Taylor's watchful suspicion, Luna's dangerous potential for interference, Sheila's conflicted promises, Katie's unwitting involvement in a potentially explosive event, and Finn's mounting pressure to protect his family from hidden threats, all converging simultaneously, creating a volatile landscape in which each character's choices carried far-reaching implications, and every whispered conversation, misinterpreted glance, and suppressed emotion threatened to ignite the fragile equilibrium of relationships, professional obligations, and family legacies, setting the stage for cascading drama that could erupt at any moment, as Wednesday's episode deftly balanced the high-stakes excitement of Kelly's wedding and the tender hopes of her flower girl dreams with the simmering undercurrents of betrayal, suspense, and moral dilemmas, weaving together the Forrester and Spencer families in a tightly wound narrative tapestry. With the happiness of a few, Kelly's joy, Brooke and Ridge's potential reconciliation, Electra and Will's intimacy was shadowed by the hidden machinations of others, unseen dangers in the form of Luna and Sheila, and the ever-present potential for miscommunication, misunderstanding, and emotional missteps to transform what seemed like celebration into crisis. And as the episode drew to a close, viewers were left acutely aware that every character, from Ridge's pensive silence to Taylor's guarded vigilance, from Electra's newfound confidence to Luna's concealed threat, from Nick's hopeful proposal to Finn's spiraling responsibility, stood on the knife edge between joy and disaster, love and deception, innocence and the far-reaching consequences of past actions, a narrative tension destined to explode in ways that would reverberate across every interaction, wedding planning detail, intimate moment, and whispered secret in the days to come, ensuring that the bold and the beautiful continued to deliver the intricate, high-stakes, emotionally charged drama that fans had come to expect, while simultaneously teasing revelations, confrontations, and moral reckonings that would force each character to navigate the perilous line between desire and duty, ambition and loyalty, an enduring struggle to protect those they loved while confronting the truth, however inconvenient, uncomfortable, or dangerous it might be, with Kelly's wedding excitement and